Hello and welcome to week 5 here. We've got Overwatch coming your way. We jump straight into it, as you can already see on your screen. We were getting pretty close with getting everything set up in our lobbies and everything, and so by the end of our countdown timer it was ready to just pop right on into Overwatch. So we're gonna hop in here. We already see that we're gonna be in that control game mode once again, so there's gonna be 3 different, it's kind of a best of 3 within this map. Starting on point A, obviously, as you can see there, and the Chokers are already behind here, have a little bit of a deficit as the Owls are really holding down this A point objective really well so far. Already up to that 63% and looking to continue to just drive that upwards. So Chokers are going to have to make some plays here pretty soon to start to change this game around a little bit.
Activating the barrier. Barrier is about to barrier is destroyed. I'm fighting.
Chokers are already pushing overtime here and not able to collect the first one. A overwhelming victory there for the Union County College Owls out of Cranford, New Jersey. We knew today was going to be a tough battle for us as both teams came into last week undefeated. The Chokers were able to stay undefeated where Union City lost in their matchup. So obviously they are hungry to come back out and get back onto the win column as they take the first point there, pretty much uncontested, get a full 100% before the Chokers are able to even grab a percentage there of the objective. So Chokers will look to bounce back right here and grab this second point to be able to force the third point to come. Talked about it earlier, it's definitely going to be a good matchup today. The Chokers are going to be pushed here like they have not been yet so far in the season. As you've already seen, the Chokers have been pretty unscathed in all of their matches so far, winning all the points and winning all the rounds and not getting past round 3 or map 3 here. And it already appears like this Union County College is going to be a much bigger foe to them, so they're just really going to have to lock their heels into the ground and figure out how to compete against these teams.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Fully healed. Come here and get stabilized.
Owls once again gaining a lot of ground on that objective point, able to kind of keep the Chokers out of these pinch points too around the objectives. Azrael gets a big couple eliminations there, a great use of the ult. Once again, so the Chokers have got to push that point. They've got to be able to get in there and start to gain some ground on their percentage. as the Owls are just hunkering down in there and just continue to gain and gain and gain. They get a big triple kill there from Tobias, so now the Chokers will be able to hold down point and hopefully reverse this game all the way around here.
Weekend burst activated.
Owls come in with a great push right there to clear out the majority of the Chokers that were in point, and have switched that point back over to themselves. Capture their last percentage. Chokers have got to push hard if they're going to be able to get in there. Not quite able to get in the overtime. Fared better in that round, but will, as you see on your screen, ultimately take the defeat here on map 1. So we knew coming into it was going to be different, and it is definitely different, as the Chokers have not been pushed past map 3 so far yet in the season, and already if they hope to come back, they're going to have to go to at least map 4, possibly map 5 here if they drop another one. So we will see, as long as the Chokers can right the ship here, we will be seeing hopefully a map 4 and hopefully a map 5 here in our match today. Yeah, so definitely great competition, great opponents, everything. Sorry we got into it a little bit late. We actually got onto it pretty much right on time, so you're able to just hop right into the action. But we are facing the Owls from Union County College. They are currently sitting at 3-1. We were both 3-0 going into last week, and Union County ended up losing their matchup while we were able to get the victory in ours. So we sit at 4-0 while Union County is 3-1. So it's probably a real big momentum and motivation thing for these Owls, as they're trying to pull up even with us, as the race and the hunt for the playoffs continues throughout the whole season. We've still got 3 teams at the top of our pool that are undefeated along with us, or I guess including us. And so this Union County team wants to obviously knock off a undefeated team, but also work their way back up into the top 3 or 4, 2 or 3 places there in the top of the pool, so that they can make sure that they're going to make their way into the playoffs. So big game, big swing momentum game here for the rest of the season, sets the tone and everything. If Chokers are able to right the ship and turn things around here and stay undefeated and also hand another loss to this Union County College, it really ups their chances for playoffs. It really makes them in the driver's seat altogether for the rest of the season to get into the playoffs. Dropping one here would definitely not be detrimental to the season whatsoever, but it will let that Union County College team basically get right back into the playoff hunt really well, and have us being able to face off between them and the 2 undefeated still left in our pool. So really a big game here for the Chokers. They want to try and make sure that they can bounce back. It's a little bit different for them. They haven't faced a lot of adversity so far yet this season, so we will see if they're able to bounce back, walk out here on map 1 and get a little bit of a punch to the mouth right there, as the Owls were able to come out and not only take that first point, but take it in really sweeping fashion to get every single percent, go all the way to 100%, and get through the overtime to finish it off without the Chokers able to capture any percentage on that point and get any control on it. Just really a great shot from the Owls. So we will see how the Chokers are able to respond here. They want to make sure that they can bounce back, as we will be heading into the hybrid game mode here next. So it'll be a little bit of combination of that escort and the control. They'll have to capture the point first, and then their payload will start to move. We've seen the Chokers fare really well in this match before. We've even seen a couple of weeks where they go on the defensive first and keep their opponents really short on their path with the payload, and then complete their and win their objective the next when they switch sides very quickly. So I do not see that being the case today. We've talked about it all week. We've talked about getting ready and having to be ready for this team that's coming their way, because the competition level is going to be a whole nother a whole nother step for them. So they've got to be ready to be in an absolute battle and fight today, as they are going to be going toe to toe and throwing punch for punch right here with the Owls. As we saw in round one, the Owls able to really earn that victory, and so we need to be able to bounce back here and draw back to 1-1 and make it a whole brand new ball game. You really don't want to fall to 2-0 here on the rounds, but definitely the skill and the teamwork and everything that we have seen from the Chokers so far this season let you know that no matter what happens, no matter how much their back is up against the wall, they are still in every single one of the fights. So even if they are to drop to 0-2 on their map score, I have full confidence that they're able to bounce back and come and even it up and draw closer to grabbing that victory. So as we said, we're in week 5 here. The NJCAAE season has been one that has been super exciting through the whole time of it. We have 8 different teams that are competing in our league. Obviously, right now you are watching one of them. That is our Overwatch team, and it has been a lot of fun being able to hang out with these guys every Friday, where they have really had a lot of success so far. As we started in week 1, being able to grab the 3-0 victory over the State Fair Community College Roadrunners, and then they got a week 2 bye, which wasn't necessarily the most favorite thing that we had. We really wanted to be able to run on that momentum that we captured in week 1, but the week 2 bye did not stop us as we rolled into week 3 and get the 3-0 victory against Ocean County College, the Vikings over there, and then responded again last week with a 3-0 win over the Gojabik Samsons. And so has really been a pretty great season so far for the Chokers, but they haven't been tested very much. They haven't been pushed past that third round yet. They haven't been pushed past that third map. And obviously today, if they're hoping to come back and win this thing, they're going to have to go past that third map no matter what. So we will see if they are battle tested and ready for it, as they don't have a lot of experience past these first 3 maps. In fact, even in that case, they haven't even played the escort game mode here in one of their NJCAAE matches, because that isn't until the 4th map, and so they haven't even gotten there. So we will see how they coordinate and how they work together in that game mode, which will come later. Hopefully we'll be seeing round 4 no matter what, because the Chokers will need to make a little bit of movement here to make things happen, to be able to put themselves in a position to go and win a match today. As we talk about our pool and our group here for Overwatch, they are going to be taking the top 3 from each pool are going to automatically get into the playoffs here. And in our pool, or our group, sorry, we're in group 5 here, so there's 5 groups. They're looking to take 16 teams into the playoffs, so that would be top 3 from each group, and then 1 extra wild card will get that pass into the playoffs. And so we look and see that the Montgomery County Community College Mustangs are currently sitting at first in our group, as they are 4-0, have not drawn a loss yet and have not had a bye week. They could possibly be having the bye week this week, or they could have a match. We do not see that quite yet. But us and the Westchester Community College Vikings are tied at that second place position with a 3-0 record, who that Westchester College actually we see in week 9, I believe, the last week of the regular season, and where we see the Montgomery County Mustangs in 2 weeks. So not this next matchup that we have, but the following matchup that will be coming up. So this is a huge swing here for the Chokers, as they want to try and combat with the Union County College Overwatch team, the Owls out of New Jersey. As after them, it drops down to the State Fair Community College team that we've already beaten at 1-2. So really, it's a race for those top 3 spots between the 4 teams that are sitting there at the top. So to stay undefeated here and hand Union County another loss would be absolutely crucial and huge in the chances towards these playoffs for the Chokers. That is always the end goal, is to try and get to that championship or that playoff rounds. And so we will see if they're able to pull off today, being able to come back and grab this win to set themselves up really well for those playoffs. And so, as we talked about, we will be heading into this hybrid game mode. It looks like the Chokers are going to stack they're going to start on the attack side here. So their goal will be to go and capture that first objective, and once they're able to capture that first objective, then their payload will start to move, and they've got a timer to be able to make it therein.
One. Attack commencing.
Activating the barrier.
I will keep you here.
I am empowered.
My barrier is destroyed. Barrier in place.
Heroes never die. Helden sterben nicht.
Nano administered.
Rocket barrage incoming. You got it.
Going for the top.
Chokers were able to start to capture the point just a little bit there, but Owls respond well and clear them out of that capture point. So they've got an hour 15, not an hour, a minute 15 left here to try and start to get that capture going.
Pick yourself up. Dust yourself. My barrier is destroyed.
60 seconds.
Activating the barrier.
Heroes never die.
Barrier is
Big time elimination there from Orblin, trying to grab a second one right here.
enemy contact.
30 seconds left here for the Chokers. Haven't even been able to grab a tick yet on their objective.
Helden sterben nicht.
10 seconds.
Owls get into overtime. They just have to hold down a little bit longer, and they are going to complete that first round without even allowing the Chokers to get a tick on their objective to start the round. So it'll be
Switching sides.
a tough task here for the Chokers, as their job is to push and do the same thing the Owls just did to them and not allow them to get any ground on their first objective. Chokers will have about 30 seconds here to get in position and get ready to set their defenses for this Owls team, who's going to come out probably hot and heavy right here to try and just push hard to get their objective. All they have to do is be able to grab this first
Everyone
tick, and they
signed
will
out. I
win
can show
map
insanity.
2.
Now it talks.
Greetings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Enemy contact.
Big first elimination there from Azrael as he's able to knock out one of the Owls. We get another elimination here from Tobias. And back-to-back eliminations there for the Owls. They're already starting to capture the point. They get their first tick, and just like that, Chokers meet defeat there in map 2, so they officially, as we talked about, have their backs completely up against the wall here as they will head into map 3, having to grab the win.
The battle continues. Rocket barrage incoming.
Epic. It's nice to be appreciated.
So like we said, the Chokers will head into, they're going to go and get the third lobby set up here and figure out where they're going to go from here. Probably a little bit of regrouping here from the Chokers needing to happen, as they have gone down to a 2-0 deficit already. So they are going to have to win the next 3 maps. So as we talked about, have not made it past map 3 yet, have not even played past map 3 yet. And now they are going to be forced to have to get past map 3 to be able to win this match. At the very least, they want to continue to chip away one map at a time. So the next one to focus on is going to be this assault map that's going to come next. They'll have that pool of 3 maps again. Once we talked about earlier in the season, they'll be able to choose between and see which map they are going to. So that is what the conversation is going on right now. And so we will see which map they're going to choose and come out with, but we know that they're going to come out to that assault game mode, and we also know that the Chokers have to have a win here. If they're not able to grab the win, they will completely reverse tides on what has been happening for the season so far, and not only not get their own sweep and win the match, but get swept on their own. So definitely have to hunker down, be able to dig your feet in the ground here, and come back and grab a round here from this Union County team that is very good, as we've seen from the get-go. Probably, as we talked about and we were wondering in here, most likely ran into one of those other undefeated teams last week and had a great match between them. So it's up to the Chokers to be able to right the ship, like we talked about, being able to turn the ship around, get on the right course, and be able to start heading back to that victory line. And that will come one round at a time. They've got to be able to grab this next map no matter what. And then they will be into a little bit of uncharted territory, as they have not been onto map 4 yet in this season. So they want to really focus here, get map 3 done on the little bit more of a comfortable stage, comfortable game mode, and then they're going to head into that map 4, which is going to be that escort game mode, which will be a little bit different for them. But obviously, they have all played Overwatch many hours, have put in many hours on it, so they have played the different game modes. So it's not like they have never played escort before, but it will be a little bit new here in their matches for the NJCAAE. a lot of credit here to this Owls team as they have come out and done what nobody has done yet to the Chokers. Not only take map 1 and force them to have to go past map 3 to win this thing no matter what, but come out and take map 2 also and put the Chokers in a really tough spot to be. So we will see how they respond here in map 3.
Get behind.
Let me get you patched up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack. Get behind the board.
So Chokers will look at trying to get to objective A here first. They're going to have 2 spots and points in which they're going to need to capture before that time runs out up there.
Form up.
Have to grab all 3 ticks from capture point A, objective A, to be able to grab that one. Once they are able to do that, then time will be added onto the clock and their spawn point will be moved, and they will move on to that B objective to try and grab that before the newly found timer runs out. That was a huge 4K there for the Owls, able to just absolutely decimate the attack right there from the Chokers.
Teleporter online. Open for fun. Helden sterben nicht. Heroes never die. Perfect alignment.
Chokers starting to make a push here. Are a couple eliminations away from really putting themselves in a good position right here. You see them really kind of starting to wait for everybody to get so that they can have a organized attack coming in all together. That way they don't all get picked off one by one when they go in.
60 seconds remaining.
And a fantastic defense there once again from the Owls as they're able to pretty much wipe out the whole roster for the Grace Harbor Chokers. They've got about 45 seconds left here on the timer, so they're going to have enough time for another push, maybe 2. So they've really got to make this one count right here. Another wipe there from the Owls. Chokers are going to have one last push right here to try and see if they can make something happen. Timer's really running low on them. Gotten into overtime and they're stalling that clock just a little bit, but the Owls are able to clear out the spot. The timer will run low, and once again, Chokers are not quite able to even get a tick in their first objective, so it'll be another tall task as they are going to have to hold the Owls underneath that zero, or at that 0% captured right there, for the full 3-minute timer. The second that they are able to get the first tick, they will lose. So they're going to have to really push and fortify their defenses and be ready for this attack that's going to come from the Owls right off the bat.
No dying on my watch.
My teleporter is online.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
My friends, God's resources standing around. It's glory to be won.
Sentry deployed.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Try to keep yourselves in one piece. I don't mind an easy ride.
Owls pushing hard out of the gates. Able to get quite a few eliminations there. Clear the area. Have already started to capture. We'll grab the first tick there. And just like that, as we've seen the Chokers do in the past, Owls are able to grab the map 3 win very quickly as they're able to pull that deficit down and really make use of it. And so, like we talked about, it was going to be a tough task, and it definitely was a tough task. Proved to be a little bit too much for the Chokers this week, as the Owls are able to come out and grab the 3-0 victory. So the Chokers will fall to 3-1 on the season, while the Union County College will improve to 4-1 and actually hop over the Chokers in the leaderboard. So we will see what happens in the rest of the group and how that standing is going to shape out after this week. Obviously, after this match, Chokers have their fingers crossed that a couple other teams are going to grab some losses towards the top of the leaderboard and maybe keep everything real even here. But definitely a task that was a little bit too tough here for the Chokers today. So they will look to bounce back next week. It is going to be probably, hopefully, a good little wake-up call here for the Chokers. As we talked about, not a whole lot of push, not a whole lot of drive yet so far in the season, because they had not been pushed past that map 3. They came out and got punched in the mouth right away to start the match today. So we will see if they are able to bounce back next week, where they're going to come and turn around and play the Southwest Wisconsin Technical College. They will be a matchup that the Chokers will be getting ready for basically right from the beginning of the week, trying to figure out how to correct the ship. Basically, as we've been talking about the whole time, they weren't quite able to turn it all the way around and get it going back forward. Definitely had some positive things throughout the match. So it's about trying to draw those positive things out, figure out what we did well, how we can fix some little things here and there, and then just figuring out how we're going to make our team stronger from here on out. And it's just about getting into the playoffs and then letting things happen there. So now that they have the chip off their shoulder of trying to stay undefeated the whole year, they don't have to worry about that anymore. Now it's just go out and play, go out and compete, and figure out from there how to continue to win games through the rest of the season and put themselves in the best position and spot to get into those playoffs as they can. So definitely not the outcome the Chokers wanted today, but it is not one that ruins their season whatsoever. They've had a fantastic season so far. Just ran into a really good opponent and foe out of Union County College today. So next week they will be back here at the same time. We'll be here at 3 o'clock on Friday to try and figure out if we can turn the things around and be able to get back on that winning streak again next week. If you are here to support the esports program in general, we will be back in action on Monday with a little bit of soccer coming your way in the form of FIFA and Rocket League. So we hope to see you at those. If you're just tuning in for Overwatch, please do come back next Friday at 3 o'clock where the Chokers will be taking on that Southwest Wisconsin Technical College. So it'll be a great matchup again next week, and we will look to get back into that win column and get things going again for our season. So as always, thank you for all the support. Thank you for being here with us, watching on Twitch, watching on YouTube, everything that you do. Be on the lookout. Make sure you follow our social medias. Everything is just GHC Esports, all one word, and lowercase levels. If you have not already, go and follow those and hang out with us and see what's coming in the weeks to come. We will see you on here on live next time you join with us. And as always, thanks for coming.